Good afternoon, good morning, patrons and
Good
regular
evening.
Pound Pimples. We have a Patreon called patreon.com/poundcast. Sign up today and get bonus material. Today we did a bonus Patreon only extended Unzipped episode that went on for almost an hour. We played two really fun games. Don't want to miss it. Patreon.com/poundcast.
It is more of a visual
It's
thing,
visual,
so
but we are on YouTube. So if you sign up for the Patreon, you will get the visual aspect of the episode.
unzip.
So be sure to sign up for that. One other thing I want to mention is that our wonderful sponsor, lvjco.com, Louisville Vegan Jerky, has a new flavor, sesame chicken. Oh, wow. And it is available at lvjco.com, the home of Louisville Vegan Jerky. And if you use the code word Poundcast, you will get 20% off your entire order, guys. Your entire order. All right. They also have the Neil Ham. Oh, the Neil hamburger flavor is sold out. You guys, you got to act quick. This is why you got to act quick. But they do still have Kentucky Future Chicken flavor.
But
What
check
on
this
earth?
out.
What does that even taste like? There's only one way to find out. Go to lvjco.com. Get your small batch flavors and use the code word Poundcast and get
This
20% off your entire order.
for this newest flavor, sesame chicken.
Yes,
It
sir.
says the garlic, sesame, and sticky vibe of this jerky will be difficult for you to put down, is what it says.
Yeah. And they're
So
not lying because whenever I open a bag of this delicious treat, it's hard to put down. I don't put it down. Trust me. It's not going
so
down. It's not going
it,
anywhere.
so look, once again, bagged in the United States, shelf life in 9 months. Get 20% off your order here on online with the code word Poundcast. And, the stuff is available at stores such as Whole Foods and Sprouts. And yeah, go to lvjco.com.
Do it now.
Yeah.
Do it now
You
and be happy for
be
once.
happy. And if you want to, yeah, I mean, like we said, we're on YouTube, youtube.com/the Poundcast. And that's Instagram is the same thing, the Poundcast. And yeah, on this episode, just classic one-on-one, and yeah, Doug is back, and but not for long. And
We kind of freestyle it and we get in, a lot of it's just like a classic one-on-one, face to
yeah,
face, cheek to
we
cheek.
kind of just chat it. We just chat it up a bit,
We're going cheek to cheek.
cheek to cheek.
And if
So
you're a
I think we should
Poundcast
just,
fan, you're gonna like it. I guarantee it.
and I think if you just, I think we should just roll the clip. I think if there's unless there's anything else to mention, I can't think that there is.
I will mention real quick my Patreon, patreon.com/DougPound. Sign up for videos, and there's a new video dropping. Well, by the time this come out, it'll be out. It's from the tour that I went on. GoPro footage from the tour is coming out. And my friend Jack Birch, of course, our friend Jack Birch, shout out to Jack, helping us out with this show and helping
Oh,
me out with some
thank you to
edits.
Jack Birch from behind the scenes. We didn't mention that.
Absolutely. And he helped me cut together some behind the scenes footage. You're not going to want to miss it. So check that out. And Brent, you didn't record your special yet, did you?
I did by the time these people are
Oh,
hearing
you
this.
did. How did it go?
It it was excellent.
Well, that's great to
I
hear.
hope. I hope it was excellent. I
I
think it
think it
was
was
excellent.
excellent. I can guarantee it was excellent. All right. Well, you know what? Let's roll the clip, classic style.
Okay, let's roll the clip.
Doug and Brent talking to each other. Doug and Brent, what will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples. Doug and Brent will talk to their friends. And Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.
And we are recording. I'm back on the Poundcast.
Welcome to the Poundcast.
Thank you. It's great to be a guest. You know, when I first started this show, it was like I was the guest. That was the
Right.
gag.
Right.
And
How you
usually
feeling?
the real guests, they wouldn't know that. I would say, I'm your guest, and today your host is today your host is Brent Weinbach, and I'm your guest. And then they'd be like, what do you mean? I'm the host. And then I'd say, calm down. All right.
It's
You
just a
know,
joke.
yeah, calm down. Uma Thurman, whoever we had the big names back then.
Calm down, Lohan.
Calm down, Lohan. But yeah, I was just telling Brent, I just took a nap and I am exhausted and I'm blank. I got nothing written
I
down.
think what you were
I
kind
got
of trying to.
nothing I got nothing to talk about.
I
So
think
we're
that
gonna
you were.
find stuff to talk about
Oh, most definitely. I mean,
from
I think
the
Yahoo
internet.
News and other official news sources. But
Yeah.
I think you were trying to express was that I guess since you've been away, today you feel like a true guest in a way.
Yeah, I kind of do. Kind of do.
So, hey, well, look, so it's kind of an interesting. I guess what you were trying to say was that there's an interesting circular sort of sensation going on here,
A
where
circular sensation. What song is that?
it's one.
One is a
It's not
circular.
circular, but it's
I know, but
singular.
what do they say?
One singular sensation.
Oh,
Every little
singular
step
sensation.
she takes, I think she or you, every little step you take.
Hmm.
One pure it's something nation, pure masturbation, something like one pure defecation, straight pure defecation. Every gulp that you drank,
That's the lyrics. Yeah, but what is that
one
from? Is that a
one
musical?
move. Yeah, chorus line.
Yeah, I don't know musicals. People keep telling me about these musicals,
Hmm. Well, man,
and I'm like, I don't.
yeah,
That's not for me.
you can't trust these people. You can only trust me when it comes to
Can't
musicals.
trust this stuff.
You can't trust this.
I can't trust it like that.
You got to trust me only. I know the good musicals. Okay. A lot of people say that they like these musicals. I'm not going to name names of musicals that I don't think are good, but people love them. I'm not going to name them. But don't listen to all that riffraff. Okay.
Tell me
That's
the ones
not
that's good.
the good ones. Well, the best one is Phantom of the Opera. I mean, it's just, I'm sorry, but that's just true. The best one is Phantom of the
What's
Opera.
the song from Phantom of the Opera?
There's lots of songs. I mean, the one that you probably know, the most famous one is
Yeah, the
probably
big
the
hit.
title
There's
track.
usually the big hit. What is it?
The title track is kind of the big hit.
How does it go?
Dun 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 dun
Uh-huh.
dun 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 dun
It
dun.
sounds
The
all dramatic and
phantom
scary.
of a opera is there inside your mind.
So
So
what happens in the Phantom of the Opera? You got some creep with a mask on. That's why you like it, because he's creeping.
I do think that's cool that it is a dark story about a creepy kind of guy, and and it's a musical about this guy.
Let me try to figure out what the story's about because I have no idea. So
Wait,
you
by the
got
way, "Music of the Night" is the other really famous song from that. I mean, "Music of the Night." That's a big
so
one.
it's like it's the music of the night. It's like a Billy Ocean kind of song.
Exactly, man. It's the music of the night.
It's the
Cause
music
we're
of
going,
the night.
cause we're going through the streets. Is it through the music of the night? Hit the playlist on it and the dance floor.
It's like the music of the night. We're gonna do it all night long. It's the music of the night.
Right, right,
Gonna
right.
take my mask off. So you got this. So the Phantom of the Opera is like this kind of meta show where it's like there's an opera and all the characters are opera singers, and you kind of see they sing a little bit, but that's not the real show. The real show is like when they're done singing, where it's all backstage, right? And
Behind the music.
you got these opera singers and they're hanging out, they're taking off their pantyhose backstage and they're putting on their makeup.
Their pantyhose.
And then this weird stuff keeps going on. You're like, what was that? Huh? and there's like stuff dropping from the ceiling, and then the lights go out, and we're like, okay, well, I'll see you tomorrow. And then one of them sees this phantom, and it's like, oh my God, there's a ghost. And but then they befriend the ghost, and then they fall in love with this ghost, but it's not a ghost, it's a guy with a mask. But that mask, he is like the nerd of the cast, and he's in love with the main beautiful opera singer. But she doesn't know that he's got this beautiful voice. So he has to creep around at night, and that's when he can be his real true self because he's too insecure about his own uh who he is. So his real self comes out at night. And
And
she, at
that's when
first she's scared of him, but then she gets kind of like, and then he captures her. He's the phantom gets her. And then they're like, where is our main singer? They're like, we can't find her. We can't find her. The show will not go on. There's a song like that. And then she falls in love with this phantom. It's kind of like, the Beauty and the Beast kind of deal, She falls for the freak. And then they finally reveal it's me all along. And then they do this big song at the end, and then they fall in love. Is that how the show goes? Is that what the story is?
that's pretty much it, except for one detail you missed was that the Phantom is pregnant this whole time. It was the first male pregnancy.
Oh. And then he
And
gives the big finale is he gives his big birth at the
he
end.
pops it out. The baby pops out, and the baby does a sort of dance, a little dance. It's a little dance reminiscent of the Ally McBeal baby dancing, But that's what the Ally McBeal got it from, They got it from Phantom of the Opera. It's really a kind of a coming of age story. But
What's this? Okay, what is it really about though? If you can give me like a elevator pitch of what's the Phantom of the
you
Opera?
really want to know the real answer?
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I want to see how close I am.
Parts of what you said are pretty fairly accurate. It's about that there's this theater, and they do opera there or whatever. And there is this sort of phantom that is in the theater, that this mysterious figure who kind of runs the theater. But he's this mysterious figure, and people don't really know who it is or whatever, and they think it might be a ghost or whatever. And I don't know. He may actually have some sort of paranormal powers, but he's not a ghost. He's just a disfigured. His face is disfigured or whatever, or is just messed up, and half of his face. And there's a woman who is kind of his protege named Christine, and he loves her, and she's, she whatever, she's a protege. She kind of trains her to be this great singer or whatever. And then, but he's this man of the darkness, and
Of course.
anyway, look, to be honest, I've kind of forgot all the real fine points of this story.
Well, look, my elevator, I have to get off at this floor. So
yeah, anyway, there's this man that she starts to fall in love with, this other man named Raul, and he kind of wants to take her away from the darkness. I don't know. Anyway, the Phantom is jealous, and basically just she's gonna go off with this guy Raul, and the Phantom is jealous, and kind of havoc ensues because of that. And and so it's I don't mean, without spoiling anything, it's about him, the Phantom, dealing with wanting to have Christine to himself and not allow her to, and then and maybe getting rid of this Raul guy.
Okay.
I mean, I could finish the story if you want, but
no, that's okay. I lump it in with Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Just because like both things I don't know anything about.
Yeah,
but I know it's like there's a mask involved, and
there's no mask in Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
Oh, but I just assumed it was kind of like the same deal. Like the guy with the mask on is the same guy as someone else.
No, well, no, it's nothing like that.
Oh, okay.
Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde, it's about this.
And that's not a music. Dr. Jekyll's not a musical.
No, it's right. No, it's not. It's just about a
It's
guy
okay.
who
It's
he's
fine.
a good doctor who I don't know, drinks some kind of potion or something, and it turns him into this madman. This kind
Turns
of
into a bad
crazy.
guy, but then he goes back to the normal guy
Yeah,
when
he
he's not
switches back and forth and stuff. You know.
drinking
I
his
think it's
stuff.
about alcoholism, really.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
think is what it really is. It's about. But yeah, Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. I read the book when I was a kid, and then I watched this movie of it. I probably read an abridged version or something, or some sort of, some kind of abridged version. I used to do that. I used to read these abridged versions of books when I was younger. Such as Moby Dick. I
You
read that
you
abridged.
mean for dummies?
It was almost sort of Moby Dick for dummies. It was kind of almost in a way a circumcised Moby Dick.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I think I did that with Dick and
I used to read these
Hyde.
books for geniuses, which were like extra long.
They make them. It's they're not they're super bridged, I
They're
guess, or
extra
something.
bridged.
The extra bridged, yeah.
Yeah, I used to read these extra bridged ones, double bridged.
Double bridged. They add extra. They make it even more dense. That's a funny idea. That's a funny idea for avid readers to make a version of a book of a classic book even more difficult to get through or more dense and more longer. Make the print smaller. Double bridged edition of
Right.
War and Peace.
Oh, they just take the book and they run it through AI to make the words be like more flowery and advanced.
Mm-hmm.
Double bridged for
Double
geniuses.
bridged. Or just take longer. There's more descriptions of things. It's just
this Dr. Jekyll came out in 1886.
Well, the original Phantom of the Opera book I think came out probably not around that time. I think
They should make because tonight is the debate between Trump and Biden.
Yeah,
And everyone is gearing up for. There's even a comedy club that's having like a watch along.
is that right?
Yeah,
It's
my
a
friend's
big.
going. I forgot what club she said it is. I don't know if it's a club or if it's like a Elysian Theater kind of place or something. But
You know what I'd like to see? I'd like to see a version of Phantom of the Opera where Trump is the Phantom.
Well, I want to see a
And-
musical of tonight's debate. That's what I want to see.
No, that too. That could be good.
Or just not even tonight's debate. Well, it's not even that outrageous. I'm sure like the South Park guys could crank that out in an afternoon.
Imagine Trump as the Phantom, though. Oh man, that's funny.
Are you gonna watch the debate?
What? I think I'd like to take a peek at what's going on. Yeah, it's an interesting situation.
This could be like a historic
I can't
moment.
wrap my head around.
Yeah, it's either gonna be historic or it's just gonna be. It's gonna be both. It's gonna be historic, but also probably boring. Like those things are so sterile and like phony. It's like Trump.
Trump might
People
shake
like
it up
him
a little
because
bit.
he's like
Outspoken,
just because he's so
loose.
I heard someone describe it the other day that makes a lot of sense. He lies because he like lies nonstop, but he lies in a way that like normal people can relate to. Like that's the way he was described, and that
interesting.
That makes sense because I don't understand why how anyone could be like that. I love that guy. I love Trump. He's like he's like whatever about his policies. He's just like the type of person I really don't like. He's so like
Oh yes, well,
he's like I don't like that type of person. He's like a bully.
He's a blowhard.
He's
type,
a bully, and he doesn't.
He's a know it.
He's spoiled brat.
Like
he's a spoiled brat. He's a spoiled brat, and he has to get his
baby.
way. And even if he doesn't get his way, and then he like gaslights people to say that and he should have won because of this other thing. He's just
a sore loser. He's a sore loser. He's the kind of person who, if he doesn't win, he thinks he was cheated, or something.
Yeah,
it's just classic sore loser. Kind of person, and I don't understand how whether you're liberal or conservative. I don't understand how at this point you could be behind Trump. It just does not make sense to me. And
I
I'm
don't
not,
get it.
look, I'm not trying to get into politics. I'm just saying as a person, he just doesn't, he does things that are not cool, you know, and I don't care what side of the spectrum you're on politically. It just, you know, for me, the ultimate crossing of a line is not conceding that he lost the election, you know, to just not. And to me, that was an irresponsible move that led to, you know, led
Yeah.
to people unrest and led to, you know, these people. I do think he was a big factor that contributed to the riot, and I think he just was he's irresponsible, and that's just, to me, across the line. It seems like a dismissal of the democratic process. It just doesn't, you know, he just that don't work. That don't work for me. And you know, that's a lot. Out of all the shenanigans he pulls, he does a lot of stupid stuff. He acts, he cares about the wrong things, but trying to cling to power like that, to me, that's not for us. That's not for our country.
That's not for me.
That's not
That's
for
not
us.
for me.
And I don't care who you are. Unless you just want to have a dictator, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
unless you want
I
something.
wish
like
his
that.
supporters would at least be honest about it. Like,
Yeah.
look, I don't think, you know, he didn't win, but I think whatever his
Well,
tax policies are better for me. Okay,
some
then
people
I'll accept that. But
some people actually do say, I think it'd be good if we had a dictator. I think
oh,
some
they
people
say
do want
I think
that.
he's a stronger leader. He's a strong man. Okay, but
Yeah, look, there's a lot of shenanigans he pulls, but to me, that's the only, that's the only thing that I think, to me, made it so I just think this is just not. Look, this is not. We can't have this.
that makes you go like this. That ain't it, cuh.
What's that? Is that something new?
You know, cuh.
No. Is that
You
short
don't
for
know that?
cuz?
That's not new. That means like cuz,
Okay.
like cousin.
I know what cuz is.
You know, when people are like, it's sort of like an urban kind of thing.
Yeah, an urbanism.
But they say now it's just cuh.
Cuh, it's like bruh.
CUH, cuh.
Like bruh.
Like that ain't it, cuh.
It ain't it, cuh.
Not to be urban or anything, but
what do you mean? You think there's a problem with being urban?
not to be urban, but that ain't it, cuh.
Well,
let's move on. I mean, yeah, we don't want to get into that.
Well, anyway, yeah. Look, there's a lot in the news here. I mean, if you go to the official news source, yahoo.com, there's a lot of interesting articles here.
Let's get into the news today. What's in the news?
Okay. What's in the news? We have here a Michael Jackson story, and you know, we're always interested here at the Poundcast.
Oh, there's a Jackson story.
Yeah, court documents. The headline is "Court documents show." Let me just look this up. Court documents show Michael Jackson was nearly bankrupt when he died. Michael Jackson was over $500 million in debt at the time of death, new court documents reveal. So,
is that right?
Yeah, Michael Jackson. Let's see.
What's all his? How is he in debt?
Well, I think because he probably had too many roller coasters at his house, you know, or something like that, you know. The King of Pop's estate had filed a petition to be reimbursed for legal, negotiating, and various other operating expenses from 2018. Jackson owed money to more than 65 creditors when he died, according to new filing. So,
well, he probably had all these people just leeching off of him.
Yeah.
That's the sad part. He had all these people around him telling him, yeah, you're good. You know, like this doctor's like, anything you want. Yes, men, telling him things that are bad for him.
Mm-hmm.
I always said, you know, as soon as I become a super millionaire megastar like Michael,
yeah,
I need people keeping me in check.
Uh-huh.
It's going to happen, Brent. It's going to happen.
Get some leeches? You think you'll get some leeches?
What do you mean leeches?
Well, what do you mean? Like, what do you want people to check you on?
Check me for leeches.
I
No,
mean, what do you?
I, well, I don't expect to be a super
Oh, I do.
millionaire
I
megastar like
do.
Michael
I could
Jackson,
see you being
but
the I could see you being the next Michael. I'd like to see you with a double nose or triple nose job, or maybe
nah, it's
quadruple
cool.
nose job.
It's fine. I ain't gonna be that. But if I
Okay.
were, I would not want to be surrounded by people just kissing my ass, because like then you lose touch of like reality.
All right. Can I propose something to the listeners?
Yeah.
I'd like to see renditions of me and Doug with quintuple nose jobs.
Ooh.
You know what I mean? Let's see what that looks like. If Doug and I had, we're talking, I guess Michael Jackson level nose jobs. We're talking, how many nose jobs do you think he had? 10? Let's maybe get 10 nose jobs on me and Doug and see what that looks like.
10?
How many nose jobs do you think?
Hmm.
Probably at least 5, right? I don't know. It seemed like the nose just got smaller and smaller until it was just 2 holes.
I want to be like the Snake Man. Um, you know the snake guys that Eric Andre likes?
I've heard such tale. Mm-hmm.
He sent me a new Snake Man this morning. He loves these snake guys. I mean, we could take a look, but
Oh,
all
who
right.
sent
So
you?
wait, what? Tell me the Michael. Oh, it's the Michael Jackson news was he was in debt.
Yeah, I got some
All right.
other
Well,
news here.
that's not out of this world news. But
Okay, how about
I
this?
did hear some Michael Jackson news today that you might
Oh.
like. Um, this chimp, this Bubbles.
Oh yeah, Bubbles, the bubbler.
Guess what?
What
Bubbles is still alive.
is he
You
really?
ever think about Bubbles?
Yeah, I think about Bubbles every night. I never thought that he would be alive still. I thought he probably died a long time ago.
Bro, Bubbles is 41 years old and he's still alive.
I can't believe that.
He's
All
like an
right,
old, I think,
let's see a
wait, how
picture.
old was Michael Jackson when he died?
50, I think.
Oh, so he's not,
No, was he 50? No.
yeah, he was around 50, wasn't he?
I don't know. Michael Jackson. Let's see. Michael J. Jackson. He was 51, I think. Or no, I guess he was 50. Yeah, he was 50. He was 50, but just a couple months short of 51.
58 to 2009. Okay. Well, look, Bubbles is, you should see this Bubbles. You should see how
Well, show
happy,
it. Show us all. Let's see. Let me see Bubbles.
you got to see how happy this Bubbles
I can't believe how old was Bubbles when he was a star in the 80s,
He was Michael Jackson's baby when he was like, because he was born in 83.
Oh, he was born in 83, so Michael
So
started taking care of him as soon as he was born.
he was 2 years old. He was just a baby bubble boy.
Oh, he was
All
2
right.
years old when Michael adopted him?
Mm-hmm. All right, let me share the screen here. I'll just show you some pictures of Bubbles. Here.
Yeah, I'd love to see Bubbles, what he's up to these days. I didn't know that chimpanzees live that long. I guess they have similar lifespans to humans.
Look how
or
happy
what?
this Bubbles is, huh?
Wow, that's Bubbles, huh?
Ooh.
Wow, Bubbles is a nice guy, I guess. Yeah.
Well, look, there's Bubbles. He looks happy here. But look at him when he's with Michael. Not. Yeah, he looks kind of like a baby right there. Dude, look at those toes, isn't it?
It's kind of funny because he's kind of dressed a little bit like Michael Jackson there, wearing the red and everything. Man,
Those chimpanzees are scary. They could
rip you out.
rip your face and your genitals out.
I know,
They've
it is
done it.
crazy. If they snap, you're done.
Maybe Bubbles ripped off Michael's nose, and that's what the nose is all about.
Okay, next project for the listeners. Render Doug and my faces to look what it looked like if Bubbles ripped out our noses.
He doesn't
actually.
Look,
you know what's funny?
Oh, look at him! Oh,
Actually, no offense, but Bubbles' nose looks kind of like Michael's final nose, you know?
Dude, maybe Michael was going for that chimpanzee
I
nose. Look
think
at that.
Michael was trying to look like Bubbles this whole time. He was getting
Yeah.
plastic surgery to just make himself look like Bubbles. Go zoom in on that face of Bubbles again.
Why is this the worst picture? This is the
Okay.
super
This,
low res Wikipedia picture. Look at
yeah.
that nose.
Let me
Well,
see
let's
it.
go.
Wait.
There's other.
Well, it's interesting because if you look at Bubbles' face, it doesn't look that different from Michael's final form, kind of, you know? I mean, not that, but that face from the picture, the other picture, not this, but
Right. You're talking about baby Bubbles.
yeah, baby Bubbles kind of, I mean, the nose was definitely looking like Michael, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I can't
Look at
believe
this.
who
Look
takes
at
care
him.
of Bubbles?
He's like, I'm happy now that I'm not getting raped no more.
Oh, come on now. And he talks like that too. He grew up with Michael, so he kind of talks like Michael a little bit, or he thinks like Michael in his head. I can't really talk, but I do like to think to myself in the same way that Michael
What if
would
he
have
was
talked.
doing bad stuff to Bubbles though?
What if Bubbles was doing bad stuff to Michael? That's where he learned it from.
That's where he learned it, allegedly.
Like, what if Bubbles was doing things to Michael?
Oh, Brent, I got something to share with you. Actually, I got something to share, bro. All right. Well, just read another story. I'll pull this up and then I'll share it.
All right. What else is in the news? There's an upside to inflation that Americans are ignoring. Their wages. Wages are going up.
Wait, what?
Nothing. Wages are going up along with inflation, so that's a good thing. Mine collapse creates massive sinkhole at Illinois soccer field. Hey, this is your old stomping grounds. You know about this? Massive
saw that.
sinkhole swallows Illinois soccer field after mine collapses. Huh. Huge sinkhole. Now, how deep is this thing? How many things can you fit in it? Is it something that you can fit a double in? Is it a single you can fit a double in? Oh, yeah, well,
Well,
it
did
doesn't go
anyone
that
fall
deep.
into the sinkhole?
No. Well, I don't. Not that I didn't read. Let's see. At a park in Alton, Illinois, it was closed after a massive sinkhole swallowed part of its soccer field Wednesday morning.
I know Alton, Illinois. I feel
Oh,
like
okay.
I know their water tower. You know, in Illinois, it's all about the different water towers. They don't have those here in LA. In Illinois, every suburb has their own water tower.
There are some water towers here around.
You don't really see those here.
Well, if you drive to Orange County or something. Security footage shows the moment the sinkhole opened up at the Gordon Moore Park. It shows a stadium light sinking and plumes of debris billowing into the air. That's somewhat poetic. It was surreal, Michael Haynes says. Kind of like a movie where the ground just falls out from underneath you. No, I don't think no injuries were reported, it says.
All right.
I
Well,
don't want to see that footage, though.
We're fine. I guess it's near the Mississippi.
So what you got for me here?
Well, let's take a look at some of these Illinois water towers just to show you what I grew up with. I'll share these real quick. Because I do like them. Aren't these things beautiful? See, we have this one.
Uh-huh. I've seen stuff like this.
Calumet City. Look at this one. Oh, that's Calumet City again.
How much water is in these things,
one.
do you think?
Ooh. Oh, this is a classic. The Alsip water tower.
Uh-huh.
See, sometimes you get these thick bottom, like a nice thick shaft.
Yeah.
And then you got the skinny shaft with the bubble on top.
Yeah. That's sort of more of a...
I kind of prefer this shape.
Oh, yeah?
Here's St. Charles. That's not too far. And then you have these old-timey ones. Look at this. These are pathetic, you know? I like these I like this kind of drop style with
Well,
it.
that one kind of almost, there's
Looks like a
water
bubble
towers
on a
on these.
stick.
There's water towers on at the studio lots.
I'm gonna look up my hometown water tower, Darien, Illinois water tower. Yep, this is what I grew up with. That was
Oh yeah.
that was right in my. This was my view. That's what I grew up with,
So
Darien,
what's the
Illinois.
point of a water tower? What do they do?
Well, they pump the water up there. Did you know this is kind of interesting? So the gravity and the weight of the water pressing down, that's what makes it come out of all the faucets and everything. Because it's
Oh really?
raised up in the sky. So that's how they pressurize your drinking water, is because it's elevated up. So it's going down.
Oh,
It's
so the
just
water
it's
tower
simple
is
gravity.
connected. The water tower is connected to the water system.
Yeah. And it's up high
But
in the air. Oh, here's Downers Grove right there. This is
but they obviously don't do that everywhere because what's pushing down on Los Angeles water?
see that's the question. It could be up in the mountain in a big ass one thing, but probably because Illinois is flat, so they got to raise it up. In LA, there's mountains, so they could probably just store it up. It's all about being higher up than
Huh, really?
I mean, I'm just kind of speculating, but
Okay. Well, I have something. I have an interesting trivia thing, sort of.
all right, do you want to see my this is just changing
Well,
subjects
all right.
big
Let me tell
time?
you this real quick, and then we'll see your special thing. What did you know that paprika? Do you know what paprika is?
Well, I know it's a spice.
Sure, you think that, right? You know what it is, though? All it
Let me
is
let me guess.
ground up
Bark?
red bell pepper.
Oh, that's it.
That's it. Isn't that crazy? And did you know that red bell pepper is the same pepper as green and yellow bell pepper? They're all the same pepper, just at different phases of ripeness or whatever.
Interesting.
So it starts off as green and then it becomes yellow and then turns red.
So just when they pluck it, is at a different time?
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna just fact check you right now.
Oh, I learned about it from somebody and I didn't believe it, so I had to go fact check it and I did already. So the work is done.
I'm just gonna double fact check you. Mm, no, I think you might be wrong.
Well, I don't think so.
I think well they are different varieties of the same species. However, a red or yellow bell pepper that's picked too early will stay green. But I don't think a green one you can just wait and it'll turn red.
No, but if you keep it on the branch or keep it on if you don't pick it.
Hmm.
Look, does a green bell pepper turn red? Green bell peppers appear first and are the least ripe. As they mature, they usually turn another color. This may be yellow, orange, red, or purple. There are even some bell pepper varieties that mature to nearly white or almost black in color.
Hmm.
Well, look, here's a little picture.
It looks like we're both a little bit right.
Well, I did look into this before spewing it. Where's
Hmm.
this picture? I saw a picture here that looked kind of interesting here. Let's see. I'm going to share this one. Hold on. Look at this. The
You take
chemistry
a
of bell peppers. So something's going on here.
Well, I got to be honest with you. I don't like bell peppers of any color.
I do.
That's something I simply don't like the flavor of at all.
Oh, really? I do like bell peppers. In fact, those are pretty much the peppers I really like to take down because they're not going to give me any kind of fire hole later.
Okay, so let me share something I got, a DM I got.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know how many shows we've done with Eric Andre over this tour, 55 or something crazy
Mm-hmm.
since last November or December, whenever the first one was. I got a couple haters telling me I suck, but very rare. Maybe 3 altogether.
Mm-hmm.
But there's one that simply takes the cake.
Oh, really?
Actually,
Wow.
one guy said, "Hey, just so you know, you suck or you weren't funny or something."
No disrespect, but you suck.
And then I looked at his page. I'm like, all right, well, who's this guy going out of his way to DM
I
me to
know.
tell me this? And I look at his page and he's got like a pet parrot, like as his first picture.
Mm-hmm.
And all I said was, "Hey, I like your parrot. You know, this is a cute parrot. Have a nice night." And then he goes, "You know what? I take that back."
Oh yeah, you talked about that.
Did I already tell you that one?
Yeah, sort of. Yeah.
Well, did I show you this one then? I don't think I showed you this one. This one is okay, so why don't you read it out?
All right. Here's what it says. I, I. Assuming he's English. If he went I, right?
Well, it's AYE, so it's A.
A. Is it A or is it I? Your jokes about the Holocaust is not funny.
But
Neither are the Michael Jackson ones.
I like how he says your. By the way, your is the wrong your.
Yeah.
He adds the apostrophe.
You are jokes
about
you
the
are
Holocaust
jokes
is not
about the Holocaust is not funny. Neither are the Michael Jackson ones. You've never met him, yeah? You've never met him, yeah? So why would you talk about a dead person you know nothing about? Should have a question mark, but
Right.
why would you talk about a dead person that you know nothing about? I paid almost 200 USD. He doesn't say that, but there is a dollar sign there. So I guess he's not European or anything, but I paid almost $200 to see Eric Andre, and I couldn't stand you. I had to leave. He left to see. Didn't even see Eric Andre.
Okay, first of all, Eric
Thanks
Andre
for-
tickets were like $50. Maybe he bought some like Craigslist scalped ticket.
Yeah.
Like the day before or something. Continue.
Yeah. Thanks for the great night. Maybe reevaluate your jokes going forward. What? Yeah. What about reevaluate yourself? This guy is reevaluate yourself. And reevaluate your value system that you're willing to spend $200 and leave because of some
Right.
jokes.
He had to leave. And I checked out this guy's page.
Oh yeah.
And I didn't put his name here. I don't want anyone to be like,
well, it does say Tom on this thing, but
well, it's just Tom. Okay, there's a million Toms out there. You're not gonna know who this is. Nobody I follow, nobody that follows me. I thought maybe this is a joke or something, but I'm looking at his pictures and he's kind of like this tattooed up like hip hop dude.
oh
And he's
yeah.
like posing with stuff and he's like posing with Snoop Dogg and he's like doing like this stuff.
Yeah.
So I just didn't accept the thing, so it doesn't look like I read it. You can.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
in the folder where you have to go in for the filter.
There you go. That's how you do it.
But yeah, it's just very strange. But I think this guy's got to be mental. But I also, I'm pretty sure it was one of the Canadian shows. So that's perhaps why the dollar sign, because they do have Canadian dollars.
Okay, so it is it is more like, hey, your jokes about the Holocaust are not funny. Neither are the Michael Jackson ones. You never met him, yeah? He's totally Canadian.
Yeah,
Now that I know he's Canadian, this all
met him,
makes
yeah?
sense. Never met him, yeah? So why would you talk about
a dead person you know nothing about?
Why would you talk about a dead person you know nothing about? I paid almost 20 Canadian dollars. He doesn't say Canadian dollars.
Right.
I paid almost 20 Canadian dollars to see Eric Andre, and I couldn't stand you. I had to leave. So thanks for a great night. Maybe reevaluate your jokes going forward. It almost sounds kind of like a different country, but yeah. You never met him,
I
yeah?
just thought you would. I thought you would like that. I mean,
it's funny
set
because
is.
Why is he so defensive of Michael
20
Jackson?
minutes. I do about 20 to 25 minutes. And it's like, you can't,
And-
you want to see Eric Andre that you paid $200 and you can't just go, I don't know, go to the merch booth and is like so offensive. By the way, my jokes about Michael Jackson and the Holocaust ones are not. The whole point is that they are offensive things to say. It's not that I'm even saying them. It's like I don't want to spoil my joke, but the Holocaust one is, well, Brent, you know it because you helped me record it, but it's as if someone else is saying the Holocaust didn't happen, and how ridiculous is that to say?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like he doesn't understand how jokes work.
Yeah. You
That's
talking
the
about
whole point of the joke
talk
is
the-
that that's a silly thing to say.
You talking about the Will I Am thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I did the voice of Will I Am in his joke.
Yeah. People always ask who did that voice. That was really good.
Do you think it kind of sounds like him?
Oh yeah,
I was
yeah.
listening to him. I was trying to sound. I was trying to sound like him.
Yeah, you did it. You nailed
but,
it, Mike.
But what's it called? Also, I mean, Michael Jackson. Why are you being so defensive about Michael Jackson? Furthermore, look, I'm a fan of Michael Jackson, by the way. Despite me sort of calling attention to his, his bubbles like nose or whatever and stuff like that. I mean, I am a fan.
Yeah, and I'm not the kind of comedian that's out there like some truth teller. Like,
but
Michael Jackson is whatever.
Well, my point is you're a fan too, are you not?
Well, I'm not like a fan like you are, but
really?
of course, grew up listening to Michael Jackson. His undeniably good songs. I'm not gonna like put on a Michael Jackson CD.
But can I ask you this question? Do you feel his eccentricities? Do you kind of like him for that too, in a kind of a way,
Yeah, he's just a fascinating figure. I mean, look at him.
Yeah. He's the Phantom. He's the Phantom of the Opera in a way,
Yeah, look at him. I mean, did we already talk about this? How like pop stars in the 80s were all cartoon characters.
Well, particularly Michael Jackson is so weird looking.
Well, because I had that
not just weird looking, but I mean, I'm saying later after the surgeries, weird looking, but also he is so just weird. Period. Yeah. It's interesting that he's the #1 biggest star of all time, and there is something Phantom of the Opera like about that, And actually, he wore masks too. By the way,
Yeah, he would oftentimes way ahead of the mask game. He was ahead of his time. He knew COVID was coming. Back in 1983 when he was doing or no, whenever that was later, but that mask was hiding his surgery, right? I'm sure.
That's weird that guy got so offended by Michael Jackson. I don't know, just for people, you know what's funny about it too, by the way? Everyone's different, I guess. But to me, the stuff that happens at the Eric Andre show, I wouldn't stay because of the stuff that happens during the Eric Andre portion. No disrespect to Eric Andre or anybody like that. I just wouldn't go to the show, period. But just all the mess that gets onto the audience and stuff, that's where I leave,
Well, yeah. Also, Eric Andre is like, it's like edgy kind of stuff to begin with. Like, do you watch the show? The show is like, the show. There's a lot of like similar stuff in the show. That's like, if you're easily offended, Eric Andre's show is not going to be for you.
To me, no spoken joke should be. I don't know. There's obviously jokes that can be offensive or in poor taste or whatever, but I just feel like it's just someone saying something, it's not, no one's getting physically, I don't know, I guess whatever. Everyone's different, but that it's going to make you leave. I mean, whatever. Some people, maybe it's triggering or something. Maybe he's got a Holocaust, he had someone one of his family members was in the Holocaust maybe or something.
I mean, that's fair, but
it just,
you can't go to a comedy club then if you're going to be triggered by any subject, because
you just have to expect that subjects are going to be brought up that might relate to something that's personal, and it's just spoken word. It's not it's not like someone's throwing slop at you or something like that, which does happen at the show, and that's where I don't I mean, these people come to expect that.
But also you could expect that because
you can expect that.
You know what the show is by now. You've seen the clips or you...
Absolutely. Totally. No, like if you go to see Gallagher, you know that there's going to be Well, there was going to be
Right.
watermelon getting splashed on you or
And
whatever.
Eric Andre's show, he's kind of like the modern day Gallagher in some
Yeah,
ways.
sure. So but then, yeah. Anyway, I just, when you go to a comedy, anyway, whatever. We don't need to dwell on it. But
We've probably talked about this.
Tom, you need
million
to check
times.
yourself. You need to reevaluate yourself. And you know what? I wish you the best too. Actually, I hope you can kind of see the humor in the Holocaust and Michael Jackson. No, I'm just kidding. I hope you can sort of take a joke, maybe.
All right,
better.
check this out. They took Michael Jackson and they put him in through AI, and they were like, what would he look like now if he kept getting surgeries?
And
I got the
surgeries.
image. I got the image. You ready?
Okay, but yeah. By the way, I saw a picture online what he would look like now if he never had surgeries.
Well, here's what he would look like. I'm just kidding. But look at this guy, though. Jeez.
Oh, that's the snake guy?
That's one of the snake. Yeah, that's the newest snake guy.
Well,
yeah.
it's funny because, not funny.
Look at that.
Funny
I
in an
mean, the
odd
nose
way.
is similar to.
The nose definitely looks like what could have happened. Yeah. I mean, but no, he wouldn't be this. Michael Jackson at this point would be just pure white. I mean, just pure Snow White, I mean, he already was pure Snow White by the time.
You think he'll go whiter and whiter?
Well, I wonder if his skin would have I wonder if it would have gotten so light that it would have went inverse or something like that.
I got another picture to show you that you might like. Where is this guy? Here's an image I sent to Eric. Yeah, we like these snake people. There's another snake. This is a snake dad right here.
Oh, wow. That's crazy. I
mean, proud father with his baby boys.
Wow. Yeah,
imagine
so
looking at your dad,
Doug
like being raised by this dad that looks like a skeleton.
Right. I mean, what is it like going to school and your other friends' dads are kind of just look like whoever, they look like they look like Kevin Costner or whoever, and then meanwhile then their friends come over and your dad looks like a skeleton.
Well, I think nowadays tattoos are getting more and more popular, especially with younger kids, and now there's more and more face tattoos.
Yeah,
I think it's gonna be like no big deal. Like your dad comes and he's covered in tats. It's like, yeah, that's just your Kevin Costner regular ass dad.
Well, no, tattoos are so popular and trendy now that everybody has them, sure, but not like that. They're not. No one's looking like a skeleton though, or a snake.
Maybe they will. Maybe that's the new look coming up next year. I heard that Pete Davidson is gonna laser off all his tats.
Yeah, look, people. Let me just give you a little message, people. Please, people, if you don't have tattoos and you're thinking about getting them, please just stop thinking about it and don't get a tattoo. You're probably gonna regret it. Maybe you won't, but look, come on. It's so refreshing and rare to see people without tattoos now. Let's get that going.
Let's get that going.
No disrespect to anybody who has tattoos and is proud of it,
No, people like it. It's fine. I noticed because I was just all over the country, and all over Europe and all over the country, and there's certain places that tattoos are like people are way more tattooed. Like, it could have just been the places I was hanging out at, but interestingly enough, Salt Lake City is an interesting city because you get to the airport and there's all these like families and they're like, welcome home, Elder Jonathan, or, these Mormon families. There's all these kids and they all everyone looks super clean cut. And, there's these parents and they have like tons of kids and they're all like sitting there with their balloons and their signs.
Yeah.
And you see them all over the airport and you see them in the city a little bit, but then in the city, I was like riding a Lime scooter around and they have the most, well, I don't want to say anything, but they have like the gnarliest people. If you're not a Mormon, it seems to be like the most clean cut, perfect families. Like if you look at them from a visual standpoint. And then you have these like the gnarliest people that are like living on the street. Like,
yeah,
I saw a lot of homeless people that looked really bad. or
Yeah.
unhoused. And also like a lot of biker type dudes, like people covered in tattoos, punk rockers, like the punk rockers are way more punk rock, maybe because the Mormons are way more like clean cut or something. It's like they go in the opposite directions. So you got like
Oh, really?
the gnarliest people that look really awful, like not well off, you know what I mean? Extra
Uh-huh.
not well off. And then you
Huh.
have like people that look all perfect.
Yeah.
And then like the punk rockers, they go extra gnarly. They have in certain
Plugs.
parts of this country, I'm noticing these gauged ears,
Yeah. I just said, yeah, plugs. That's what I was
which
talking about. Yeah.
I'm gonna say that's probably worse than tats. I don't want to say anything about anyone, whatever you want to pick, whatever you want to choose to do, I don't care. But as far as like
I'm just old fashioned.
I'm just old. Well, I think I am too. You might be older fashioned, but I'm
I
really
just
I can appreciate some tattoos, but it's not for me. But like
I just
I
like
can
older
appreciate it. But
styles.
those ear things, they're just so. I just keep looking at them.
They are kind of,
I'm just
you
like
know,
that is. I don't know why it would do that, but
they
what?
are
It's
kind
our
of,
show. I could say whatever opinion I want. I
I
think it's
mean, look,
weird, and I don't like it.
it's just a preference, I mean, whatever. And hey, if you like it,
Hey, if you don't want to listen to this podcast anymore because I said that, bye bye.
hey, if you like it and you've got somebody who likes it in your life, hey, good. That you guys,
I know I got people that like it in my life, and that's fine.
yeah. Look, let's wrap it up or whatever. Or unless
No,
you
let's
want to
talk
keep,
some more crap about things we don't like.
I know. Why don't we wrap it up? And I've got a fun, I don't know if it's fun. It might be a bad, stupid game. I have this game that I'm going to
I have a
do.
game we could play too.
Okay. I've got this game I made. It's called Who. It's called Who Is It?
Who is it?
And it's a game where I'm going to show Doug pictures of celebrities that are either in disguise or they don't look like the way they normally look, or it's a different time in their life where they look different, and you're going to try to guess who the celebrities are. It might not be that cool, but that's going to be in the Unzipped. And how do you get to the Unzipped? You got to go to patreon.com/poundcast and subscribe. And
I'm gonna do a game too, but like, I think I should make an announcement, Brent, about
yes,
what I've been talking about with you.
yeah, yes,
Um, I basically I might take kind of a sabbatical from this podcast, just to focus on other stuff, and I might still do it once a month or so. I'm just need to like, I've been doing it. It's like a weekly thing, and I know it doesn't seem like it's a lot of work, but I don't know. It kind of takes up a lot of the day in a way. But anyway, I just for various reasons, I just want to take a break from it. But the show's gonna keep going, um, and Brent's gonna keep it going, and I'm gonna come on when I can, and hopefully we'll get some cool guests. When I'm inspired to get someone on I want to talk to. But that's basically the gist of it. I'm so that's that. So there we go.
yeah. And hopefully that, well, what do you think about that too?
What do I think about that?
No, what do they think about that?
Yeah, what do you guys think about that? The
Do you
thing is, I
feel
mean, if I'm being honest about it, I I feel like kind of burnt out on it. Like I don't have that much to I'm not it doesn't excite me to get into it. Like I like talking to Brent, and once we do the show, it's fun and like, but I just I want to have like a burning desire to, I want it to be it's not that it doesn't seem that fun at this time. And we make it fun, but I think and I want to do other I want to like make movies, and I want to like I got other projects I want to focus on that I wish I had more time to um do. It's not like I'm quitting being creative. I want to like do other stuff, that I feel like I can't ever catch up with these other things. And I think I have my hands in too many fires. And plus this tour, that's probably a big part of it. Like I got to go back on tour tomorrow. We're going to go do more shows, and this podcast is just like one extra thing that's sort of I want to make, when by the way, on these tours, people are like, I love Poundhouse. People are saying that you got to make more. People are coming up to me with tears in their eyes, begging me, we got to make more Poundhouse. And I think I'm just kind of spread myself too thin these days with all my various projects that I want to do, complete, that I have dreamt up, that some of them I feel just I'm spread too thin. That's basically what's going on. I'm spread too thin. If I could simplify my life and do a little bit of less of this show, that's what I would like to do.
And, if anybody feels a little discouraged about that, he's not completely going to be gone. It's just he's taking a break, and will be doing some episodes every now and then or whatever. Or the other thing was he's going to take a break for a period of time and then maybe come back and be more regular again, or just see how the break goes, So it's all kind of,
I might be gone forever. I don't want to say anything.
Yeah, or whatever.
Nothing's certain. Nothing is certain.
Nothing is certain.
But what I really would like to do is take a break one way or the other. And
so
I'm sure after I take a few weeks, then I'll be like, because it's just like with anything, when I'm doing a lot of stand-up or like DJ Doug Pound live shows, I get sick of that. And I get burnt, and I don't want to do that. And then, some time goes by and I'm like, I miss doing that. I want to go back to that. So
exactly. Yeah.
It's just,
just putting that out there. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. But look, you're in good hands with Brent.
And I guess what I meant by what do you think about that to the listeners is, do you feel okay with that? Do you feel like, you still?
Well, they're not going to feel good. They're not going to like it.
I mean, what I mean is, do you feel okay? Are you okay with it?
Yeah. Can you understand where I'm coming from? Because it's not that. It's just coming from a place of, I want to do things in my life that I really am like passionate about. And I'm just not that passionate about cranking these out every week. And I think if I take a break from it, maybe that passion will come back.
Yeah. So, and then, so I'm curious about, with Doug not here as much or not at all even, how does that affect you? I mean, do you still want to listen to the show?
How does that affect you? Are you still gonna
do you still want to tune in?
Pimple or what?
Yeah. Do you want to be a pimple?
Let us know.
Or do you want to or do you want to get popped?
Let us know.
So I'm just curious about that. But anyway, yeah, but anyway, so that's how that is. So anyway, regardless, join us at patreon.com/Poundcast. And yeah.
You know what? If you don't like it and you have to leave, send me a DM. And if you're offended by that, send me a DM and tell me all about
it. To reevaluate his priorities.
And reevaluate, I should think about what I'm doing moving forward. I'm just kidding. I know people they've already said like, and a lot of people on the tour are saying they love the Poundcast. So it is a tough thing to do, because I know a lot of people love it. That's all. Okay, end of rant. But I got to do what I got to do. That's the bottom. I got to do what I got to do.
By the way, it sounded like I just burped just now. I did not burp. I was about to say something and I stopped myself. No, because I went like this. I went like that, but it came out sounding like a burp.
You were like,
I went like this. And I was going to say something, but I was okay. I was going to say, well, it doesn't matter what I'm saying. Anyway,
right, well, this is
we'll see you in the after. We'll see you in the Unzipped.
We get the point. Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see you in the Unzipped. We're going to do these games, and then we're going to and that's the bonus content you get from the Patreon. You know how it works. So we'll see us there, and thank you for listening, and thank you for being here. Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Doug and Brent. Talking to each other, Doug and Brent. What will they talk about today? Doug and Brent are talking to some pimples, Doug and Brent. We'll talk to their friends and Doug and Brent talking on the Poundcast.